Thank you. Hi, I'm Charlie Fitzroy. I'm the CEO of Bradda Head Lithium. We are a UK-listed lithium explorer with assets in Arizona and Nevada in the US. We're quite unique in that respect, as in we have three types of lithium assets. We have brines, pegmatites, and clays. We're very well funded. We listed last year in July on AIM. We did a royalty transaction on our clay assets in December with Lithium Royalty Corporation, and we also did a recent funding. So we'll have about 17 million in the treasury right now, and we're in a very good position in the market. We've barely explored our clay assets. We've drilled about 2.5% of our clay assets. We haven't drilled our brines, we haven't drilled our pegmatites. And the key thing is we're funded to take our clay assets to a PEA by next year, and also to understand about the brines and the pegmatites. So we don't need to come to the market, and we can demonstrate to the market what value is in our assets before coming back. So we're in a very strong position, and especially with the recent lithium sell-off, I think it's a very good time to have a look at Bradda. We're at about 11p today. We've been up as high as 17p, and we only listed last year at £16 million market cap. So around 42 million, we're in a very strong spot with lots of results to come. We as a company, we know we need to get to a situation where all of our assets are low production cost, net zero carbon, battery quality lithium end producers, and we looked at our assets to try and understand how to do that. We know we need to increase our resources at our sedimentary assets because we have a resource in place there, and it's all about just drilling it out because it is a uniform deposit there. We develop our processing technology at our sedimentary assets because that's the vital thing for clay, and then also understand more about our pegmatites and brines, and that's what we're doing this year. Last year was a big build year for us. We did a lot of geophysics. We finished our first drill program on our clay assets. We also added some key team members after listing last July. So we added an ESG professional and 2 technical consultants. And we started our first MET study at our clay assets. So we're on the way to getting towards that point with our assets. Year ahead, we've got a lot of catalysts coming. We've already had 2 so far this year. We had our first resource update out early this year, and also finished our third drill program. So I started our third drill program at Eureka, which is one of our brine assets. That is the third program we've started since listing. Our first one was at our Basin East project, our other one was at Aquifers, and this is Eureka. And as you can see from the chart ahead, we've got a lot of catalysts to come. We've got our results from Aquifers, which are our clay asset. We've got our permitting to come from our other portions of our Basin Project, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And then we're starting drilling at our pegmatites in June this year. So that's a big thing for us. These are the first time these pegmatites have been drilled in the last 30, 40 years. There's been some low-level drilling for that, and also they were mined back in the 40s and 50s, but very exciting time for us. And then we've got further drilling at our other brine projects. I'm Charlie, I'm the CEO. I'm a geologist by background. I spent 5 years in the army before working in exploration drilling, then across sort of M&A, asset management, equity research, and corporate development, most recently at China Moly, where I was doing a lot of work looking at lithium, and the opportunity came to join Bradda, and I jumped at it. Ian Stalker's our chairman. Ian is a very well-known in the mining field. He's spent 30 years in Africa building mines, built 12 mines himself. And then we've got Jim Mellon, who's our largest shareholder, and then a very strong advisory team, and also our consultants, our ESG professional and our technical consultant. So a very strong team in place which know how to add value to a small miner and grow it. As I said, we're ESG professional, and ESG is a front and center policy for us. We're in the process of designing water conservation initiatives with our local stakeholders, and also putting out our ESG policy, which is something which we'll follow shortly this year. I'm not going to go over the thematic too much for lithium in the US. I think the market is quite aware of the situation. The US has one producing lithium mine. It's got a lot of factories growing up. It needs a lot more supply, and that's where a lot of companies like us who are developing projects in the US come into. Right now, the lithium supply chain, most lithium comes from South America, China, or Australia, generally via China and then shipped on to the rest of the world. It does pick up a carbon footprint, and we are planning to develop our projects in the US for the US market. And we should be able to reduce that carbon footprint by how we develop our projects and the energy source going into them. Excuse me. So our clay assets, we've only drilled 2.5% of our clay, of our 47 square kilometers of sedimentary claims in Arizona. Our project where we have a resource currently is called Basin. I like to compare it to American Lithium's TLC project. The grade profile is not dissimilar, and they've drilled a large proportion of their project, I think coming up to 40-50%, something like that. And we're hardly a small amount. As I mentioned previously, we have the funds to be able to take our project to PEA before coming back to the market. And you can see the share price appreciation of American Lithium here. This slide here highlights our clay projects. You've got our Basin Project just west of Freeport's Baghdad copper mine, and Wikiup just west of that. As you can see, it's a very mining-friendly jurisdiction. Freeport's Baghdad copper mine's been there for about 100 years. And it's Highway 93, there's a gas pipeline, electricity pipeline, very good place for infrastructure. So this is our Basin Project, so I was talking about earlier. We put a resource update out a few months ago. We did a 1,100 meter drill program last year, so a very conservative program. Ended up increasing our in-the-ground lithium carbonate equivalent tons by 65%. So now have 305,000 tons of LCE in the ground. We also have up to 6 million LCE ton exploration target, which SRK gave us over our Basin Project. So a lot to look for there. And along with that resource update, you'll see on the bottom left, the block diagram, we've got an upper clay and a lower clay zone. The upper clay zone, we identified a high-grade unit, which covers about 20% of the resource. It's at about 1,300 ppm. So that's what we're going to chase over the rest of our claims. And we're in the process of permitting at Basin East extension. We just received our permits at Basin North, which is just the purple one at the top there. And then we're going to move on to permit Basin West and West extension. And we're chasing that high-grade unit across the rest of our claims. And that's what we're aiming for to try and update. And we're going to have an updated resource at the end of this year once we drill at Basin East extension and Basin North. And then at the same time, we're working on metallurgical test work to be able to put together a PEA for the second half of next year. We'll have some firm economics for the project. And again, we're fully funded to do that. Wikiup, we're waiting on our assay results from that. That program finished earlier this year. So that's soon to come. Once we get those back, we'll put the results out. Again, exciting to watch for. I know I'm cursed in time, so I'm going to jump through a little bit. Line time resources. The reason why this slide's here is we see as our San Domingo pegmatite district as similar to Liontown Resources' Kathleen Valley asset in Australia, whereby we think of a zone pegmatite system. We've got a 9-kilometre strike, as you can see here at San Domingo. And we've got lots of outcropping pegmatites that are named. We can see them. They were mined back in the 40s and 50s, varying grades of the channel and chip samples between 0.5% up to 3% Li2O, and also grab samples at 8%. So really exciting, interesting, prospective area. We've done geophysics there as we did at our sedimentary assets. Geophysics there has really helped us understand more about the extent of the roots, along with a 3D mapping program we did recently, and we'll soon to be start drilling there in June this year. So again, very exciting. We look forward to updating the market. We're going to go to PDAC this year, so hopefully we'll have some drill core to show everyone there. So again, very exciting time ahead at San Domingo, because if we demonstrate there is something there, we'll be able to get this into production much quicker than our clay asset. And again, the capital cost for a pegmatite spodumene concentration facility is going to be much lower than a clay asset or a brine asset. So very exciting prospect here at our San Domingo project. And then we go into our brine assets up in Nevada, Wilson and Eureka, where we've done magnetotellurics. We demonstrated we have 2 basins there. Potential aquifers. One, Wilson's quite shallow, about 150 to 350 meters, and then the Eureka one's a bit deeper, 600 to 2,000 meters. We'll be doing drill programs towards the end of the year at Wilson and then follow up at Eureka. We recently did a shallow clay drilling program at Eureka to test the clay potential there, because we have got lithium at surface, mineralisation at surface in the clays at Eureka and at both Wilson. So again, interesting projects to go ahead with. And this follows into our exploration timeline. So for the clay assets, we have, as I said, enough funding to take the clay assets to an early stage PEA by the end of next year. And the pegmatites and the brines were funded to demonstrate what is at them, both the pegmatites and the brines. So we're not going to need to come to the market until we've demonstrated the value inherent in our projects. And there we go. We've got a very exciting list of projects, very well funded, strong support by management and board, very strong political locations, upside with geology, and a spread geological risk because of the amount of projects we have. And very supportive shareholders and a really good recent raise.